Hey everyone, this is Trevnik, and in this video I'm gonna be talking about the FNAF movie that I just watched in theaters on the 26th. So in this video I'm gonna be talking about my thoughts on the movie. So I'm gonna be including my thoughts on the movie spoiler wise and non-spoiler wise. So I'm gonna start with my non-spoiler thoughts first. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a like and a comment on the video. It would really mean a lot to me. But anyways, let's get on with the rest of the video. So first of all, I actually really liked the movie. It was good and it was awesome, and it managed to make itself enjoyable for both hardcore FNAF fans like me and newcomers to the series. So that's a plus. I also like how it managed to stay true to its original thing. There were some parts that seemed a bit goofy, like especially for a horror movie, like it seemed like there were like some parts that had like some pretty goofy moments, but it was still good nonetheless. Okay, so now here's where my thoughts come in spoiler wise. So if you haven't watched the movie yet and don't want to be spoiled, then I recommend clicking off now. So the movie's main protagonist is Mike, like the Mike that we see in the FNAF games, and we also get introduced to his younger sister Abby, which first of all, let me point out that first thing I want to mention is that with Abby, if you switch the A and the B around, you get Baby, short for Circus Baby, which is the animatronic being possessed by Michael's sister in the games. So you see where I'm getting with that? Not sure if that's intentional, but I still like it. A lot of FNAF YouTubers ended up in the movie as well, which I like. So for example, there's a scene at Sparky's Diner, which is a reference to, so for those that are new to the series, that's a reference to this old FNAF hoax that started like back in the early years of FNAF, where someone claimed that they saw a secret animatronic in FNAF 1, and that apparently it was a dog animatronic. And I'm not sure how the name Sparky was chosen, but I just guess it was. I mean, there were a lot of old FNAF hoaxes back in the early years of FNAF.
Now Chrome Freddy is actually in the game. After a while, if you just dick around with the cameras, eventually Chrome Freddy will come and put you in his mouth. It's totally fucked up.
And I was around in the fandom, and I've been a fan of FNAF since the early years, like 2014 or 2015 or something. So I was like 9 or 10 at the time. But yeah, I remember that. But anyways, in Sparky's Diner, we see an employee who's being played by MatPat, and there's a scene where he says the following:
You do realize that lunch is the most important meal of the day.
Thought it was breakfast.
Some people say that, but you know, it's just a theory.
He even said the line, "That's just a theory," just like how he says in his videos. So that's like around like 2 references in that one scene. Another reference I forgot to point out was that in a really earlier scene in the movie, when Mike is at like, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was like an ice cream parlor or something. It had the rainbow from Chica's Magic Rainbow from FNAF World. So another reference included there, which I also like. I love how the movie started in general with Mike seeing someone take someone's kid, but mistake the dad for being someone else, like maybe like a stalker, like a reference to like how William Afton did his thing, like purple guy luring the kids and stuff like that. And so how Mike decided to take the job as the security guard at Freddy's so that he could make up for that whole event. And later on, we see Officer Vanessa, another character from the games, Security Breach more specifically, go into Freddy's with Mike and tell him the whole breakdown of things. One thing to point out is that earlier in the movie, when Mike was at this school, the teacher said how kids learn through pictures, and in that scene with Abby, Mike, and the animatronics, Abby said that the animatronics like pictures. starting to connect the dots there. And remember that reference I called out with Sparky, like with Sparky's Diner? It turns out he gets referenced again. There are scenes where it shows the backstage, in which one of the animatronics we see back there is a dog animatronic, and that's what Sparky is. He's a dog animatronic. So those are 2 Sparky references in the movie right there. And that whole scene with one of the thieves hiding in the supply closet only to get attacked by Bonnie. I feel like that's supposed to be a reference to how in the first FNAF game, how Bonnie sometimes is in the supply closet. So I'm thinking that's another callback there, which I also really enjoy. And in one of the backstage scenes, this is the one where Mike gets introduced to the concept of the Springlock suits, in which one of the Springlock suits has a mask which resembles that of Ella, a character which is only in the FNAF books. So yeah, love that. Now let's talk about the ending, and the ending, oh wow. Okay, so I really love what they did when they're ending off the movie. So it ended it off with the guy calling Mike turning out to be William Afton in the Spring Bonnie suit. The animatronics are all around, and so that then gives Abby the idea to take one of the kids' drawings, the one with the 5 kids and the yellow rabbit, Spring Bonnie, and then drawing all over the picture to make Spring Bonnie look evil, so that the kids possessing the animatronics now realize the yellow rabbit is a bad man. And William Afton's actor did really well with being both a good villain and just a really psychotic man. Like, especially when he was getting turned on by the animatronics being controlled by the missing kids, and then getting Springlocked, and then laughing, saying the iconic line, "I always come back," before putting the mask on and then being dragged away by the animatronics. I mean, sure, it's just like with the Silver Eyes, how the adults go into Freddy's with the security guard named quote-unquote Dave, only to find out that in the end that he is William Afton all along, and then get Springlocked and then dragged away by the animatronics. But I still like how they pulled that off in the movie. Really good. And remember how I said that a few FNAF YouTubers made their way into the movie, including MadPat? Well, Corix Kenshin made his way into the movie as well, to play the part of what I think is like a police officer who's in the car with Abby and Golden Freddy. And then we have other YouTubers such as Dako and 8-Bit Ryan appear as Employee of the Month poster photos in Freddy's. I also love how in different scenes in the movie, I'd say it happened like at least like 3 times, I think, where BB or Balloon Boy would show up and then get turned around by Mike. A good reference to how Balloon Boy is the most hated character in this series. I mean, I hate him myself too. And the end credit stuff was cool too. I mean, they even added the iconic FNAF 1 song by the Living Tombstone. And near the end of the credits as well, they even you could even hear like the Puppets music box from FNAF 2, and as well as that iconic robot voice from the FNAF 2 minigames. I tried to listen as to what it was saying, but I didn't know what. So before recording, I found this video where someone decoded what it said. I'll credit them in the video. But here's what it said. Come find me. Who is telling us to come find them? And who is it that's saying that? Well, we'll only find out if they plan on making a FNAF 2 movie. And one last thing I want to mention before I end it off here is that I love how at the start of the movie, it even included the series of events of the kids being taken away, except in the iconic FNAF 8-bit minigame style. So I also love that. That's really cool. So those were my thoughts on the whole FNAF movie. In general, I really liked it. It was really good and it was awesome. I loved how it handled everything, with including some YouTubers in and some references, and as well as staying true to its original form, while at the same time making itself both enjoyable for both FNAF fans and newcomers. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the FNAF movie. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care.